My name is Tamika Davis. I am a triple diamond leader with It Works. I've been in for 4.5 years. I live in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and I want to know where you guys are from. So real quick, drop it in the chat. Where are you watching from? How long have you been in the business? I'm excited to do this with these leaders that we've got on here. They all have such different stories, and with these bonuses that are out, these rank up bonuses for any new distributor that joined in June, July, August, I'm thinking about my team, and I really want to set them up for success. I really want to teach them, how do you go diamond in less than 90 days? And for me, it took me 7 months. My distributor that I signed up, she went diamond in 5 months. And then at the very beginning of the year, I was able to sign a distributor and got her diamond in 3 months. So we're getting it shorter, but these ladies have done it themselves. And so they are willing to share all of their secrets with you. So make sure you've got a pen and paper, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm getting some messages that a few of them can't get on. So we'll just have to see we'll just skip them and then come back maybe. Okay. So we are going to start with Jamie. Jamie, if you are on, will you unmute for a second and say hello?
Hello.
All right, she's on. Good. So let me do a quick introduction. So Jamie is from Lubbock, Texas. She is a mom of 3 girls. She's got a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and 10 months. Holy smokes. And I wanted her to go first, you guys, because she barely just started this year. She started at the end of February 2019. And that was obviously got signed up from someone who probably went to conference, was fired up, shared their fire and inspiration with her, and she was able to go diamond in May of 2019. So really, really fast. She is a registered nurse of 10 years and works from home with insurance. And she just started the business to make a little bit of extra money and to lose some of the baby weight. And she's currently lost 20 pounds and made over $6,000 since February. If you want to make over $6,000 in half a year, like, hands up with network marketing, working from home. Like, that's amazing. So Jamie, we want to know kind of what made you get started, how you jumped in, and how you made this happen. So floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I feel so privileged to get asked. I mean, like, I'm a newbie myself, I feel like. But I was following the person that I was watching the girl that I enrolled under, Maria, for, I don't know, Maria can probably tell you, a while. And I would just message her randomly and be like, hey, so what about this TFX? Or, hey, I was pregnant before that. And then I got pregnant, I was messaging. I mean, it's probably a year or so I was watching her before I ever even did anything. And one day I was like, okay, I'm ready. I want the TFX. And she was like, you won't believe, you need to make money doing this again, because I signed up with the business 6 years ago. And I didn't really go anywhere. I loved the products, but I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time for the wrap parties. I had 2 little girls at the time, worked full time and all that. So I was like, I don't really have time for that. I used the products, and then I kind of just let it go and moved on with some other stuff in my life. And then social media came to life, and it is like total game changer. It really has been, I mean, the best experience I have ever had doing this. I've never done network marketing before. I love people. I like to talk to people, and I probably talk too much. So I was going to set a timer, but I didn't get it done. So I was just going to kind of talk about a couple of things that really helped me throughout my journey, I guess. So I started at the end of February. I went Ruby my first month. Next month I went Emerald. Next month I went Diamond. And I think that I was very driven. When I started, I was just looking for some extra money to help with me with childcare, because I work from home, and I kind of wanted like somebody to stay with me to help with the baby, which I still hadn't done. So I just been using, the money for something else. But when I started listening to Zooms and talking to other people and hearing all these like amazing stories, I really started thinking like, this is real. Like, this is not fake. Like, this is not a hoax. You hear people talk about that. And you're like, this isn't real. There's no way this could be. And you start hearing people say, they're making like $20,000 a month. And I'm like, why not me? Why can't I make that? So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's bring it. And I told my husband, and I was like, listen, babe, I really want to do this. I think this would be something great. And he's like, oh yeah, it sounds like something we should do. So we started, and my husband completely freaked out. He was like, you're always on your phone. You're never around. When you're with the kids, you're on your phone. And so first off, I had to realize that I had to focus, and I had to set some boundaries in my life and in my work life. And so if I was on my phone, which I think a lot of newbies essentially get caught up when you're on your phone, you automatically call it working. Scrolling, and you get caught up scrolling, you get caught up looking at other people's pages, and you call that working. And then your family starts seeing you working all the time, and you really hadn't done anything. You've just been on Facebook and Instagram. And then they start to kind of not be so happy with you working. And so I had to myself make some adjustments. I'm like an all-in kind of person. I'm a cold turkey kind of person. If I'm doing something I shouldn't be, I'm like, I got to stop it. And so at first I kind of like doubted myself, like maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe my family's not ready. Maybe, and all these thoughts of doubt start coming in. So I reached out to my leader. I'm like, my husband's freaking out. He doesn't want me to do it anymore. And when you're first starting, you're working, and you're not making any money really, because you're just getting started. And so the husband is like, you're doing all this work and what, you're getting paid $2, and I was like, but just wait, just give me time. And so I told him, I was like, you just give me some time. Someone says, I can't hear anything. Maybe connect your audio with, can everybody else hear?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So I was like, babe, just give me some time. Just give me enough time to see if I can do this. I feel like I can. And I got an amazing team. I love my team to death. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that I just jotted down so I will stay focused, because I could just be everywhere. First thing I said was focus. Today, our leader just said, you know what, set timers. I'm implementing that into my life this week. When I'm working, I'm going to set a timer, and I'm actually going to do what I'm saying I'm going to do for a certain amount of time. And so I'm going to set timers, and that way, when an hour is up, I have something counting down for me. And it makes you focus on what you're doing, and you don't get caught up scrolling and messaging and everything else. The next thing I have written down is a daily task. Write down a daily task. And if you want to change it up each week, change it up each week. But write down what you're going to do. Be intentional with what you're doing. Because if you're not, you get lost. It's so easy just to pick up your phone and be like, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at. The next thing I said was join as many meetings as you possibly can. Be on as many Zooms. Be on as many, live streams. Be in whatever you can. Be there and listen and be a sponge. Listen to everything that they're saying, because the people that are above you and the people that are ambassadors and they have been there too. And I think that's the coolest thing. One of the things, everybody tells their story first, because it's easy to look at these people and really put them up on a pedestal and say, oh, they've never had to do this. But they have. And where they've come from is very similar to a lot of people's stories. And so join as many things as you can. And I don't know about everybody here, but we're very spiritual. We go to church all the time. I'm the youth, the praise and worship leader. And just like you need a church, you need a congregation, you need those people around you, you need your team around you. You need to be involved in the chats. Be involved. Start being a leader. You learn some information, somebody asks a question, give them the info. They see you as a leader, and that pushes you as well. And you say, I'm a leader, I've got to lead from the front. So be involved, be in the chats, Be on the meetings, be on the Zooms, be present. Let's see what else we got. Personal development. Every single day, pour into you. And when I started, I kept saying, what on earth? I've never in my life heard somebody say that I needed to like have personal development. All my life, I've heard you need to pray, you need to do this. I've never heard someone say you need personal development. Like you need encouragement from other people other than like just my spouse or just my mom or just whomever. You need somebody pouring into you. And I just told one of my my distributors today or yesterday, if you do not pour into you, you have nothing to pour into other people. If your cup is empty, what are you going to do for your team? What can you give if you're empty? You have to be overflowing just to splash onto people. If your cup is empty, there's nothing getting on any of your team. You wonder why you're struggling. You wonder why your team doesn't want to work. Because you're empty. You have to pour into you. You have to overfill. You have to say, you know what, maybe that's just, enough. I just barely got enough. I just barely got full. If you're just barely full, you're not splashing on over to your other team. If you want to go diamond in 3 months, you have to act like a diamond from the get-go. You have to keep pouring and pouring and pouring into your team. Encourage them. My first girl that signed up, I didn't know what I was talking about, but girl, she thought I did. And if Martha's on here, she'll tell you. We've been doing it, from the beginning. I was brand new and I signed her up that week, my first week. I didn't know what I was even talking about, but I knew what we were doing. We were pushing and we were going somewhere. So personal development. If you Google it, you search it, James Dobson or John Maxwell on podcasts, they're free. And he talks about being a leader, just leadership skills. If you just have leadership skills and you don't know anything about this business, you can lead. Second or third, fourth, whatever I'm at, make no excuses. We are an excuse-driven society. We make excuses for everything. It's so much easier to make an excuse than to say, man, I really sucked it up this week. Like, I am going to do better. Well, it's easier to say, well, I had this and I had that and I have life and I have kids and I have church and I have family and it's easier to make excuses. I have a vacation. Stop making excuses. Just do the hard stuff anyways. Don't make excuses for yourself, because when you make excuses for yourself, you're kind of like coding it. You're like covering it, burying it, and hiding it. When in reality, it's right here. This is the problem. I've got to know that it was me. I am the one who dropped the ball. And if I'm leading from the front and I drop the ball, guess who else drops the ball? Everyone below me. So I got to push. I got to go. I have to quit making excuses. You make time for the things that you want in life. You make the time. Somebody says, you can't make time. I have people tell me all the time, I'm too busy. And I'm like, I just hate that excuse. If you need money, you're not too busy. If there's a need there, if there's a real why there, you're not too busy. Dig deep and find the why. That was really hard for me. It took me a really long time to really, really find the why. And if you really, really want something bad, you figure out how to make it happen. You figure out why you need it to happen. And that's what propels you. That's what pushes you. You make time for the things you want in life. If you really want it, then make it happen. Make time for it. Get up early. Stay up late. I was telling my husband, I was like, I don't know what to tell people. I just worked like a dog. I worked as much as I could all the time. And, I was determined. I wanted that $10,000 bonus. And I got it, okay? They rolled it out, I don't know when it started, but when I started in February, March was like, $10,000 bonus. And April, $10,000 bonus. And I was like, God, I'm not there yet. And I was so bummed because I wanted to skip Emerald and go Diamond in April. And I was bummed. I was like, no. And Maria's like, chill, you're good, dude. You went Emerald. Like, that's awesome. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going diamond next month. So the next month, I'm like, please, at the end of the month, end of April, I was like, please, May 1st, please say we're still having $10,000 bonuses because I want a $10,000 bonus. Like, it's for me. I need it. And so it happened, and I was like, yeah.
Well, I want to stop you there real quick because we gotta keep on our time.
Sorry, yeah.
So give us 3 things, maybe, like, just real quick, like, for someone who's brand new. You were brand new. You started at the end of February. You know that you wanted this. So many people want this $10,000 bonus. So many people want it, right? That's the reason why they're joining. So what would you say? You talk about the things now that you do a little bit differently, like, focus, acting like the diamond, personal development, like all those good tips and stuff. But like when you're first in and you don't and know all that, and you said show up to all the calls, like that's super important. But like if you can give these newbies like 3 things that you did every single day that took you Ruby the first month, Emerald the second month, Diamond the third month, and maybe they could duplicate it faster now, what things would you tell them to do?
I would first say, write down what you're going to do and be intentional every single day. No matter what, don't make your excuse, do it. Write it down. Message as many people as you, write down how many people you want to message and just do it. And do the host posts, but be intentional with what you do. The second thing I would say is, like you said, be involved with the Zooms and be involved with your leader. And if you don't have a good leader over you, or if you feel like, your leader's not leading, find someone who is. In your team, there's plenty of people that would love to help. I know in my team, we have great leaders. So find a leader that is willing to lead you and jump on their back and go. I'm sorry, I probably drove Maria nuts the whole time. I'm like, hey, what about this? I need to know. My first day, my first week, I was like, where's the chart? I need to know how to chart. Where can I find a chart? She's like, it's okay. Just come down. You only need 4 customers, and I'm like, no, but I need a chart because I'm going Ruby. And then the third thing I would say is, let's see, write down what you're doing, do your daily 6 or whatever your daily list is, be involved, and I don't know, personal development. Like, pour into yourself. Pour in, because when you first start, it's super easy to get discouraged, and I think most people quit within the first month. So they're not seeing the money coming in.
Yep, exactly. Because you got to do the work of a diamond before you're going to get paid like the diamond, and
right.
Until you hit that work mark, it's not going to happen. So you have to push through, and personal development is going to help. So thank you so much, Jamie. You guys, tell her thank you in the comments. And if you have more questions for her, just write her name, text them in the chat, and then she can answer some more questions there. And we're going to move on to our next one. I think that Tanis wasn't able to get on, so hopefully we'll get her on in a minute, unless if you are here, then say hello. But otherwise, we'll go to Melissa. So I'm going to do a little intro. Okay, Melissa lives in California. She was a full-time district manager for Victoria's Secret. And I'm just going to say that when I go into Victoria's Secret, I would never have the confidence to ask you to join the business. So I kind of want to know how that all went down. But she joined Christmas Day with 3 babies under 3. And I feel like a lot of us, we don't work on Christmas because everyone's with their family. So the fact you joined on Christmas was pretty cool too. And she sat on the business for about a month. And then when they announced that the $20,000 double good bonus, she went crazy, belly to belly. She went diamond 6 weeks, you guys. Can you imagine earning that $10,000 bonus in 6 weeks? Maybe you need to start visualizing that. She's going to tell us how. And then she went double a year after that and retired. And now she is a triple diamond leader. And you guys, she's number 138 in our company. So she knows what she's doing. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, every time I hear 138, I get chills. I'm like, how did that happen? But it's been such a crazy, crazy journey. So I'm so thankful. First of all, thank you for letting me get on the Zoom. And like Tamika said, I joined, so when I joined, the 3 babies under 3, working in Victoria's Secret during the holidays is absolutely insane. We're there literally, it's a 24-hour day operation, like restocking, like we will do over $100,000 a day in each store in the entire district. So there's 10 to 12 stores in the district. So life was super crazy. I had just had my 3rd baby, And my husband's a police officer, so he was working nights, I was working days, he was working weekdays, I was working weekends. So we didn't see each other from Thursday night to Tuesday night. So we only had Wednesday morning and Wednesday night together, basically, for the first couple years of our marriage, with 3 babies under 3. So our kids basically were like raised in daycare. And when I had Haley, my third, I really did not like going back to work after my first 2, but we didn't have a choice. We live in California. It's very expensive where we are. It's not a common thing for women to be able to stay at home. It's just really not. Like, you almost have to have like a 2-income family. And I was making very good money at my job. I was making over $120,000 a year. Never once did it ever cross my mind that I would ever be able to not work. But when I had Haley, my third, I had some pretty severe postpartum depression, and I was working. And one of my assistant managers, actually, like an assistant manager from one of my stores, brought up the wraps. And she was like, I just started this business. You should totally check these wraps out. They're so cool. And everybody was talking about these wraps. It had not come to California, but it lit Victoria's Secret up on fire. Like, all of a sudden, everybody was like, we want these wraps. And so I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to sign up for the wrap. I want to get the wraps. And she's like, well, what do you think about doing the business with me? And I was like, girl, you are crazy. Like, I barely sleep as it is. I was like, I'm still nursing. Like, I maybe get 3 hours of sleep a night. I'm like, I can't take anything else on. I'm like, but thank you so much for thinking about me. But she planted that seed, you guys. Like, and I will tell you, it took a lot of balls probably for her to even say to me as her manager, like, why don't you do this with me? Because like, I look at the person that was above me, and I don't know that I would have ever said it. I've said it now, like, now that I don't work with her anymore, I've said it. But she planted that seed in my head, and she even said, like, all of these girls want to try the wraps. Like, why don't you just sign up, and we'll just put all the customers under you. You can get the shopping spree, and you can get the wraps you wanted. And I was like, oh, let me think about it. But I never like ever talked to her about it again. So then Christmas Day came, and that particular year we had no tree. We had nothing wrapped. We had no presents. My husband was working. He worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day that year. And I had these 3 babies at home, and I just remember waking up on Christmas Day and just bawling my eyes out because I was thinking in my head, like, this isn't how my life should be. And I had nothing for these kids. And in my head, I'm like thinking, I'm supposed to be the super mom, like tree, decorations, like here's some monkey bread. Like, my mom always had monkey bread on Christmas. So I always felt like I needed to do that, and I never could do it. And so for some reason, I was feeling super down, and I was like, I'm just going to buy myself these wraps. Like, I'm going to make myself feel better, because 3 babies in 3 years, like, let's be real, like, it's not kind on your body. Like, I don't care who you are, you can be Cindy Crawford. Like, it's not kind. So I went online to buy the wraps, and for some reason, instead of buying the wraps, I signed up to be a distributor. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my husband. I didn't tell my enroller. Nobody knew. And then I sat on it. So I was like, as soon as I signed up, I had that immediate regret, like buyer's remorse. Like, why did I do that? I just wasted $40. Like, what was I thinking? And then, of course, you guys know, if anybody's familiar with Victoria's Secret, you know that right after Christmas is after Christmas sales, and then it's semi-annual sale, and then it's Valentine's Day. So life is crazy in that environment, like in corporate retail. But my upline I had kind of like started like adding people from It Works just to kind of like see what it was about, or they had friend requested me and I had accepted them, however it went. But everybody went to conference. So I joined in 2014 on Christmas Day. So 2015, it was like the end of January. So almost exactly a month. Everybody went to conference, and they announced the double good bonuses. So this was when diamonds actually could get $20,000. And I was like, $20,000? Like, that spoke to me like real quick. And in my head, I was like, that almost pays for a year of daycare. Almost. We were paying over $2,000 a month just for my kids to be in daycare. And so I was like, okay, if I do that, that would help out so much. So I went like balls to the walls. Like, I never once posted on social media. I was so worried about what people would think, because I had this successful career. I had this successful marriage. I had like, you know, like what everybody would probably think was like perfect, but we were still living paycheck to paycheck. But I just had that fear. I didn't want to tell people like what I was doing. So instead, I invited my 8 best friends over and didn't really tell them what was going on. Told them we were going to have champagne, girls' time, like, let's hang out, and brought them all over. I wrapped every single one of them, told them about the bonus. They all saw results. and they could see like how passionate I was about this. And I'm kind of one of those people where I'm like super red. So like if I'm not, I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. And so at this point I was still kind of dabbling, but they all loved the products. And I was so transparent with them. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never even tried one of these products. Like, we're going to do this together. And within a couple hours, all 8 signed up as DTs. It was the craziest thing ever. And so then I was like, okay, this is going to work. Well, that's when my ambassador diamond, now Sherry Lynn, I'll call her, she's number 2 in the company. She reached out to me because by the time that I started working the business, the person that enrolled me already quit. So I had no upline like whatsoever. So I was literally like flying blind. So Sherry reaches out to me and she goes, hey, I just saw you signed 8 DTs like today. Like, who enrolled you? Where did you come from? Do you know how to chart? And I was like, what? Come again? I was like, who are you? Like, I'm like, wait, you're on my team? Like, I'm on your team? Like, so it really was kind of like it was really cool. Like, it was really good that she reached out, because had she not reached out, who knows like what would have happened, right? And so I'm so thankful every day that she looked at those reports that day, because back then, you guys, we only had 24 hours to move people. We didn't have 72, we had 24. And she found me and was like, I want to help you. Let me help you chart. And so she called me and she taught me how to chart. So I was almost built for Emerald the first day that I actually started working the business. And so then what I did is like, I still didn't post on social media. I still didn't tell anybody, but I went to all 8 of those people's, their houses, and they did wrap parties. And then we did wrap party on wrap party on wrap party. And even working 14, 15, 16 hours a day, I would squeeze in an hour wrap party wherever I could. And 6 weeks later, like, we got that $20,000 bonus like it was nothing. And it was, I mean, obviously it was a lot because we had put the time in, but imagine not even going on social. Like, I don't think there's anybody now that can say that they've gone diamond in 6 weeks from belly to belly, because we're so social media focused. So I went diamond, I got a $20,000 bonus. The day that the bonus got paid out, my baby Haley having a seizure. I was 3 hours away working for Victoria's Secret. 3 hours away, she had a seizure. I blacked out driving home, and basically just out of panic and fear. And I had this realization, like, I just missed the first like 3 years of my son's life, the first year of my daughter's life, the first 6 months of my second daughter's life. Like, what the heck? I'm like, I'm working 16 hours a day. I don't even know my kids. And then, you know, I'm driving to the hospital emergency room, and I get there and the doctor tells us that she has a kidney disease and she needs a 1-a-day treatment. Well, between not having to pay for daycare, the $20,000 bonus, and the diamond income, I was able to walk away that day, 6 weeks after starting my business and being a stay-at-home full-time mom to my kids. And I was able to give her treatments every day for a year. And I will never, ever, ever like forget this, like ever, 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 ever. So belly to belly was my first 6 weeks. Got the bonus, changed our entire lives.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there real quick.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of people have that fear of posting on social media because of what other people would say. And, you know, as a newbie, like, maybe you can just speak, like, if you could go back, would you have maybe, you know? And then also, real quick, just how do you get people, obviously you were passionate. You just called up your girlfriends, you put their app on them, and then, you know, took the one party to do another party to do another party, you know, an hour to 2 hours to do a party to get you to diamond. Like, it was a sacrifice investment for sure, but totally worth it, obviously. So maybe just like a little bit more detail there as far as that goes, if someone wanted to work their business that way. Yeah.
So, I mean, if I could go back and tell my like past self, like 4 years ago, why didn't you post? Like, now I'm totally like, I tell everybody, like, post. If somebody is negative to you, or if somebody like is not nice to you, like, who cares? Like, they're not paying your bills. And for me, my bills were being paid from my business. But a lot of people that join this company don't have that luxury. But had I started posting sooner, I probably wouldn't have had to go through that season where I did, where I had so much regret and remorse for not being with my kids. So I would say post, especially like if somebody is not nice to you about the things that you're posting, or they're going to send you negative things, then they're not your friends anyway, you know? And at the end of the day, the negative people aren't going to be the ones that are helping you get forward with this business. So if there's somebody negative, like, I just tell my team, I'm like, just block them. Like, block, delete, ignore, who cares? Like, when we say who cares, who's next, you know, because I learned at my very first green conference, Madra said this back when she was with the company, and she was like, behind every no that you get, there's a yes. So don't get like hung up on the no's, but go for the no, because behind the no is your next yes. And you never know when that yes is going to turn into your next diamond or your next double diamond or your next triple diamond, you know? So, I mean, I would tell my past self, like, you should have gone in like the minute you did, you know, when you did, because by the time I quit at Victoria's Secret, I probably could have signed so many people from the company, you know, that I had worked with every single day in and day out. And I mean, I ended up anyway, just from talking and doing the wrap parties, but it would have gone a lot faster. So never worry about the opinions of other people. Because
well, and it's interesting too, because if your enroller wouldn't have planted that seed and, you know, she quit before you even went diamond. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of goes along with what Jamie said, like you just have to keep going, and you also need to just ask everybody and plant that seed and let them decide. So just a couple more minutes. If you want to share anything else, like as far as your journey after you went diamond, double to triple, anything like that.
Yeah. So once I did the belly to belly to diamond, I think of every rank as a season. So diamond was belly to belly, double was Instagram. I had never worked Instagram before in my entire life. I was now a stay-at-home mom with 3 babies under 3, no daycare. So belly to belly went out the window, right? Like I was like, oh, that was fun, but I can't do it anymore. So I built on Instagram. I watched every Instagram video that I could get my hands on. Jade Hooper, like Alyssa Billiou, like anybody that I could watch, I watched. And then from double to triple, I did all Facebook. So like every season has been a different part of my business. So what I would say is like, when you find yourself in this like difficult season where you're like, man, like I'm not getting anywhere, do something different. Because what do they say? Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you want a different result, you have to do something different. And then the second thing I would say is like, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what is going on in your business, your personal life, private life, whatever, start every single day with gratitude and end every single day with gratitude. Write 3 things down in the morning that you're grateful for, and then write 3 things down at night, something that you're grateful for that happened that day. And then the third thing I would say, like I have an overflow of gratitude because of what this business has done, and I really try to teach that to my team. And then the last thing I would say is like cast like vision. Like you should be showing the team like what can be done, like what can this business do for you, and have them write down their top 10 goals. Like what are 10 things that you want to have accomplished in the next 10 years, and have them write it down every single day for a month. And they can change it as it goes. But if you don't have vision, like what do they say? Like without vision, people perish. Like you have to have a dream. Like you have to know what you're going for. If you're just doing this business because you want to make a couple extra dollars, you're probably going to make a couple extra dollars. If you're doing this business because you want to retire your husband, get off, stop working full time, then you need to work like you want that. You need to dream like you want that. And you need to remind yourself every single day that can happen, because it can. And then like Jamie said, like personal development, you can't pour from an empty cup. So when you're feeling tired, burned out, stressed out, refill your cup. Like take time to yourself. Like I just watched this, and I'll be super fast, I'm sorry. I just watched this church service, and they were like, go to your quiet place once a day. And you don't have to pray. You don't have to do anything. You could pray if you want, but just sit there in silence and just know that everything is going to be taken care of, that everything is predetermined, that, you know what I mean? So it's like, take that time to fill your cup before you can fill other people's, if your cup is empty, because you can't pour from an empty cup. 100%.
I love that. And thank you for all your advice. And that just makes me want to literally go to a party. So if you've been in the business for a long time, go relaunch some of your new distributors. Like go drive to their house and relaunch them. Send messages to your existing customers. And then if you're brand new, like she just said, like don't tell them what you're doing. Just invite your girlfriends over for a fun girls' night, and then just be passionate and like be honest. And like she said, you may not know what you're doing, but you've got the tools and the resources to make it happen and help them happen.
Yep. And every single party I did, I was very upfront. Like I have no clue what I'm doing, but thank you for being here, and let's do this together.
And
you know what I mean? Like
upline coaching you through it. Like, cause Sherilyn hadn't even messaged you yet. So, I mean, you don't need to have an upline to be successful. I just love you, Melissa. Thank you.
Yeah,
and if you guys have more questions for her, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We're going to come over to Kristin. She joined in April of 2015, and she was originally an insurance agent. And then now She's a stay-at-home mom. She went emerald in 3 weeks, diamond in 60 days, and double in 90. So you guys who are just joining now, you know, she's going to be able to give you the tips to get you double in 90 and then triple by month 4, which means that anybody who does this is going to earn $50,000. Yeah, $50,000 in bonuses because you're going to be able to get them paid out before the year's even over. So I'm super excited to hear your story. So I'm just going to put the floor over to you and give us all your tips and tricks.
Hi. So am I sharing my story, or am I just kind of like talking about how I did it? Is there something?
Let's just kind of get into just how you did it, and then if your story comes into that, then that's perfect.
Okay. What? Hey, I'm on a Zoom, okay?
Okay, where's my baby doll?
I don't know. Sorry. So I joined literally for $1,000 Ruby bonus. That was all that I wanted. That was all that I knew. When I joined, I didn't know what products we even had. I knew nothing about network marketing. I'd never been a part of any other business before, except for like Herbalife just to get the discount. Like I did not know anything about it. I didn't have a lot of Instagram followers. Like I just want you guys to know, like I didn't come and like bring a bunch of people. Like I just worked and made it happen. And it was like, I didn't have a big following. Like I just literally built everything from the beginning. So I joined for $1,000 Ruby bonus. And I just remember like, as my enroller is Courtney Labby. And I remember whenever she started me off, like I was just literally copying and pasting everything she was telling me, saving it to my notes because I knew I was going to join and I wanted to tell them whatever she was telling me because I was interested. I was like, obviously what she's doing is working, so I'm going to just start saving this now. As soon as I joined, literally I just copied her and Courtney Bohr, which is my second upline, and I just copied what they were doing because I knew that Courtney Bohr at that time I think was double or triple, making around $8,000, and she was like 18, and I was like $8,000 a month. I was like, okay, like I need to do whatever she's doing because that would be awesome. Even though I literally joined for $1,000, but like I'm always ready to go for more. Ended up just like getting to work. I just messaged people, reached out to people about the products, like my friends and family. I was like, you would want this, you would want this, you would be good at this. I posted like I needed one spot on my Ruby chart, even though I had none. Like I was just like really excited, and I didn't care to like put myself out there. I never once like second guessed anything I was doing. I just did it because that's what my uplines were doing, and I didn't question it. I didn't honestly have anyone to compare myself to because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anybody in the business. So I just thought, if this works, it works. And if it doesn't, then plan B, you know? So I was just really excited, and I just had like this hope and like fire in me from the beginning that I just wanted to make it work. So I ended up going Ruby. I think it was like a week or two. Like it was so fast. And I remember Courtney being like, all right, so get out.
1 second. Okay. So as a newbie, when you're just messaging people, you get a lot of no's. Do you remember those no's now, or like, how did you continue to push through that? And then, yeah. Because Ruby, that's fast, like 2 weeks. Like I've never heard of that.
And I didn't care. It never bothered me because I feel like it probably bothered me later, like after I went presidential, more than it did when I was new. Because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to message my next Facebook friend. I'm going to go follow more people on Instagram because I had 300 followers on Instagram and now I have almost 12,000. So it's like I was just following. I did everything through social media. I didn't know if I said that or not, but I just would go follow more people, and then I would message my Facebook because I had more friends on Facebook. I would message them. Back then, you would post like literally 20 times a day. So I would post every hour. And I just shared my excitement through my posts. I literally was ignorance on fire. I had no freaking clue what I was doing. Me and Courtney were literally the blind leading the blind. And I don't know what just happened. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. We were like the blind leading the blind. And so literally I just remember I went Ruby and I was like, oh, like I didn't even really know what just happened. I was like, I think I just earned that bonus that I joined for. And that's how like dumb to the business I was. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing, you guys, and I still did it because I saw the box, I saw that it needed 400, and I literally just filled it. Like that's just I did not overcomplicate it that's what I did all the way to triple and presidential. Like, I just looked at a box and I filled it. Like, I know that sounds so stupid, but it was literally that in my head. So Courtney was like, all right, get out your emerald chart. So I print off an emerald chart and I'm like, okay, I think it maybe like 5 boxes, 6 from Ruby. I don't really know. And I was like, I need that many distributors. So I go and like start posting for that many distributors. And then I'm like, okay, they each need 400. And so a week after going Ruby, I went emerald. And I know I'm making it sound so simple and easy, but that's because it is. Like, people overcomplicate it. People compare themselves looking left and right. Like, she did it fast, she did it slow. She's doing social media, but I'm better at this, but I'm going to try that. Like, no. I did what my upline suggested. I found what worked best for me, and I stuck with it. I never once changed my course. So I went emerald. And the first thing I did when I went emerald was printed out that diamond chart. I didn't give myself a break. I didn't say, oh, yeah, I made it. Like, no. And so I see, and I joined in April. So this is like, I'm promoting during the summer. I didn't go to conference. I had never been to conference. I think at this time they were extending bonuses at this point. So there were bonuses available whenever I promoted. But I told my husband, I was like, all right, I'm getting this diamond $10,000 bonus. Like, it's, May. And he was like, okay, like, you do that. So I get my chart out. I fill the boxes. I fill the box. Like, I swear, you guys, that's all I did. Same thing with, as soon as I went diamond, I got my double chart out and I did the exact same thing. I never even knew. Okay, Jada Hooper is one of my uplines. I didn't even know who she was until I was like triple. Like, I did not look at anybody else's business but my own. And I was so freaking excited about what I was doing. And I don't even feel like I was working all day, every day. Like, I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I had Ella, the one that was in here a minute ago. She's 4 now. She was 4 months old. And I just worked every chance I got, and I stayed up later. And I was freaking so excited and to tell everyone about this business. And like, I feel like your excitement comes through even text messages. People can tell like when you're going through the motions and when you're not. And with distributors, like, I didn't use scripts. Like, I just talked to them like they were my friend. And I was just so freaking excited. And I'm not going to tell you guys what I was messaging because now it would be total spam. But I always say, I just saw that question pop up. I always say it doesn't necessarily matter what message you're sending. It's how many messages you're sending. No matter what, throughout the years of like, I do message people, and it never matters really what my message is. As long as I'm sending out a lot of them, I will sign people up. It's not really, it's such a numbers game. Like, the more people you sign, the more people you message, the more you're going to sign. Something too is I didn't look at my chart like, oh, she's not working. I'm not using her. I'm not going to use her. I'm not going to help her go emerald. I'm not going to help her go ruby. She's not doing anything. Whatever. This is my promotion. This is my paycheck. This is my family. This is my debt. This is my life. I'm not going to sit here and throw that away because I'm mad and having a pity party about somebody else not working. No. Like, that is just literally insane. I'm like, I will fill that volume and figure it out later. Like, I didn't lose rank. My chart, I always had way more volume than when I needed to promote. And I felt like people just get so stuck in their mind. And they're just like, this person isn't working, so I don't want to give her a paycheck. I didn't tell them they just got an emerald paycheck. I just did it. And if they saw it, like, good for them. But if they didn't, okay, it's not my business. I'm just trying to go double or triple or diamond or whatever. And so that's just what I did. And I feel like my biggest thing was that I just never looked left and right. I'm hungry. Okay, go to snack. I didn't question myself. I didn't let people get in my head. And I feel like the longer I was in this business, the more I did that. Because I heard so many different stories and so many different ideas and things. And once I finally was like, okay, Kristin, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what to do. You know what works. So go do that and, like, stop. So I will say, like, one of my biggest mistakes in this business is after I went presidential, I didn't get my ambassador chart out. I was tired. I went presidential in 11 months, but it was, like, the hardest. Sorry, my computer screen's giving me light here. I was saying, I don't know. I was just tired. And I was like, oh, like I went presidential, like I'm good. You know, at that time, I think presidential was $100,000 bonus. I was like, I'm fine. I don't need to go ambassador right now. Like it'll wait. No, I should have never done that because I know that I would be ambassador right now. And I just put it on the back burner so much that after that, I was terrified to get that chart out. So whatever promotion you have, like you're not going to promote if you're not looking at your goal. I have to physically get out my chart, look at it and be like, okay, this is exactly what I need and where. And then I have like a clear vision of what I need to do, and everything always falls together when that happens. I have people that come to me and they're like, I can't promote. I'm like, well, what do you need to get to diamond? They're like, I don't know. I haven't done it. It's the 15th. I'm like, what do you mean you haven't done it? You don't know what you need? No, I was waiting for volumes to update. I'm like, then that gives you 5 days. Like, what are you doing? Like, get your crap together today. Today's August 1st. If you don't have your chart out by tomorrow, like you're already going to be falling behind. Like as soon as that month started, or as soon as I hit that promotion, even if it was the middle of the month before, or the end of the month before, like I got my next chart out and I had that clear vision and that clear goal. So sorry, I'm like running out of
No, that's great. And a couple of things that you said that I love and I personally needed to hear is just like ignorance on fire. Like just go. Like you need this distributor, find that distributor, fill it to 400. And don't worry about who's not working. Sometimes I feel like even at the Ruby level, like all of a sudden you get this team and now you feel like they are they're responsible for getting you your promotion. They're responsible for building your paycheck. And then all of a sudden now you feel entitled to their paycheck when it's your paycheck essentially. So I just love that because that does take you out of the game when you start worrying about what other people aren't doing. And then I love what you said about just like keeping with the momentum. I know, that you get tired. Like, I mean, you get tired in this business, but do you want to ultimately get to where you want to go? Or do you want to be tired and then like have to light that fire again? And it's hard. And so I'm glad that you were willing to share that because you'll hear it every month. I'm tired. Well, pick yourself back up and keep going. Like don't stop.
I have like 2 more things if that's okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
So something that, like, speaking of that, something I always tell my team is if you go and you go, whatever your goal is, diamond, ambassador, $1 million, debt free, when you do that, you're never going to say, I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard. I wish I would have slept more and not worked. I wish that I still had that debt and I wasn't debt free. Like, you will never regret working your butt off. It will suck sometimes. Like, there's times that I cry and I'm just like, I just want to sleep and I just want to do other things other than this. But I just remember why I'm doing it, what I'm going for. And literally, like, I just tell myself, like, you will never regret this when you get to your goal. And you're not going to get to your goal without working harder. You can't, you work okay, what am I trying to say? The more you work, the more money you make, basically. If you're barely putting in any work, you're barely going to be making any money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're never going to regret going that extra step and doing that extra thing, staying up that extra hour. Like, you will never regret that. The other thing I have to share, just because it's something that's still so crazy to me, whenever I went triple, and this is like an example of ignorance on fire, because if I saw this now, I might freak out. But I literally looked at my chart, my triple chart. I think, I don't know how many distributors I needed exactly, but I remember seeing we had 5 days left in the month. Sorry, oh my God. We had 5 days left. And I remember seeing 13,558 volume I needed in 5 days. Not one time did I think that promotion wasn't going to happen. I just knew that I had to kick it into high gear. And I, like you said, like, I always look at a promotion like it's mine. I have to get 13,000 volume. Like, that was my mindset. And what I'm doing trickles down to my team. So if I'm thinking I have to get 13,000, they're working. And then my volume came together. Like, I promoted, my gosh, it was 11:59 on the last day. And I about had a heart attack because it didn't change until after midnight. Okay, I almost literally had a heart attack, but it was so worth it. And I didn't even know that was like a crazy thing. Like, I was just like, yeah, I need 13,000. Like, okay, like, let's just do this. And I didn't, I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't freak out. I was just like, well, Kristin, you're staying up till 2. Like, we got to go make things happen. So I just did. And I feel like because I looked at it as it was mine and nobody else's responsibility, they weren't getting the $10,000 paycheck and the whatever the bonus was. I think, I don't know, 50, 25, something. I don't know. They weren't getting that in their bank account. So why would they care? Like, I cared. And like I was saying is, since I did that and since I went for it, my team, they just feed off of your energy. They see you leading by example. And whenever I'm enrolling the most, my team is enrolling the most every single time, hands down. If I'm sleeping, they're sleeping. If I'm sending 2 messages every 7 days, like, so are they. Like, you just have to lead by example all the time. Your team will feed off of your energy and just freaking go for what you want without getting sidetracked every other minute. Like, you just can't.
That's perfect. I love it. And I'm not even going to say anything, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Thank you. If you guys have more questions for her, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And we're going to head over to Mary Lisa. She is from Pennsylvania. She was an assistant director at a daycare before It Works, and she promoted to Ruby in 2 months, Diamond in 5. And her story is a little bit different, you guys, and I think that it's good for us all to hear this. Life happened, and she can get into that a little bit, but went to executive in January of 2018, went to conference, and then got Diamond back in February, double in March, and then triple in August. And so, I just think that sometimes when you think everything is falling apart, can really be the time where it comes together. And so having, that triple promotion within such a short time frame, she's going to be able to share her tips and tricks with us as far as that goes. So it is all yours.
Sorry, I didn't know how to unmute myself. I was waiting for you to do it. I took notes because I'm a red-green, but I can go like all over the place, and sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you see me guys like looking at my phone, that's why. But yeah, so I started actually a week before I gave birth to my daughter. So I had a son at the time who was 2. I also had a stepson who we had 50-50, and just like a lot of responsibilities, a lot of work. And I had no idea what direct sales was, network marketing. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I had no prior experience, but I was fed up with the type of life that I was living. Oh, something just happened. Sorry, I got distracted. Someone's like screen sharing or something. So I knew there had to be a better way of living and something else that I could do in order to make extra money and stay home with my kids, because honestly, okay, it's done. After paying for 3 kids in daycare, even with a discount, like, I was making no money. So I decided to give it a shot. And one of the things when you're first getting started as a newbie that I think is super important is just trusting your sponsor, trusting your enroller, your mentor, whoever it is that's leading you, because they know what they're talking about. Even if they don't know what they're talking about, they're getting guidance from someone like above them who does. And you need to kind of just trust that they're giving you the correct information, the correct advice. And that's what I did. I followed my now presidential Diamond. I did everything that she told me to do. And I had the same mentality as Kristin that spoke as well, that I didn't care what people thought of me. Like, I already had a life that I wasn't happy with. So if people were going to mock me, make fun of me, say no to me, like, I didn't care. They weren't paying my bills. Like, I believed in this opportunity and I was going to make it work no matter what. So I'm going to fast forward to my year of 2018. I was in a bad position in life. My check went down and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So getting to events is super, super important. If I didn't get to a conference, I can tell you 100% that I would not be in this business still. So I can guarantee you, every event that I've gone to, I promoted at least 2 times coming out of. Like, you need to get to events. I always tell people, kind of like trying to describe to someone what eating a cheeseburger or a slice of pizza is like without them ever trying one, like you can't describe it. Like you just have to bite it and you have to taste it for yourself because it's indescribable. So going there, you know, I got my cup refilled and I was just like, let's do it. I went there with two or three team members who also had lost rank, and we just looked at each other. We're like, okay, like let's get to work. So that's when host to post became a thing. Like they were kind of there, but not in the same sense that they are right now. And I was like, all right, well, we're going to try this. So that's how I got my rank back and started to promote to higher ranks. Working host to post, going live every day, even if you don't like it. Like, this is what I look like when I go live. Like, some of you guys look beautiful. Your hair is done. Your makeup's done, like, on point. Now, like, I look like this or even worse. And, like, one kid's pulling on me. The other one's, like, fighting with the dog or all sorts of craziness. And I just go with the flow because I'm a real person. And sometimes people want to see that, you know. You want to show people that they're able to work the business even with their crazy lives. So going live and giving value, but most importantly, like being excited, even if you don't know what you're talking about exactly. Like, I didn't have any personal results when I first started. I was pregnant, then I was nursing. I wanted to wait until like my 6-week checkup to have the doctor clear everything. But in the meantime, I was enrolling people and I was sharing like other people's results, what my mentor was telling me, different testimonials in order to get people to get started as customers. And sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. So yeah, going live, and even if you mess up, who cares? Like, just keep going. Half of the time when I'm on live, like, I lose my train of thought, or, you know, I don't have notes. I just wing it. If you're a notes person, by all means, like, go ahead and do that. But I always just hop on and say whatever comes to my mind, and it works out. So just don't overthink it. If you've never gone live, the first time you do it is probably the scariest, and then each time you do it, it gets better and better. The same with blitzing. I do natural blitzing now. When I first got started, I was passing out blitz cards to whoever. Like, I didn't care. Going up to people in restaurants, talking to moms at the park. Like, if I'm waiting in the deli line, I would just start talking to people and see what their life was like. And then I would slip in the, well, you know, like, I'm a mom too, and this is what I do. So can we exchange information and then follow up with them? But now, natural blitzing, like, I get people on my social media or in my phone right away. Instead of handing a blitz card, I hand them my phone and either get them on Facebook or get their number. And sometimes I don't even mention the business. Like, if I'm somewhere with the kids, like at the library or a park, like, I just say, oh, you know, our kids are playing so well together. Do you come here a lot? Maybe we can schedule another play date. And then they're on my social media. So I don't even have to say anything. It's just dripping and dripping and dripping. But one of the most important things that other people have mentioned as well is finding your why. Like, you can think you have a why, but until you have that gut-wrenching why, it's not to be condescending or like a Debbie Downer or anything, but you can only go so far until you have that clear vision of why you're doing this and what's pushing you and what's going to push you through those times. Like, I've worked through being ill, like I was hospitalized for 3 months, still working, mastitis, this, like kids being sick and all sorts of stuff. Like, you need to find that thing that's going to push you through the days that you don't want to work, because everybody has those days. Like, it's not just we wake up every single day and, you know, because we're at a certain rank, we don't have issues and we don't have problems. Like, we still do. We still have life. So my like never again moment before conference that I didn't even want to go to because I didn't have money was I was so behind, like, on my car payment. They called me. They were out looking for my car. Like, it was about to be repossessed. My kids have been sick for months, like crazy fevers. No one was getting better. And then I just started freaking out because they're going to come take my vehicle away. I wasn't in control of my life. I threw my kids in the car, like, one at a time, wrapped in blankets, barefoot, call my mom crying, like, Mom, I need money or they're going to take my car. And I just remember feeling so low at that point. And I was like, I can never feel this way again. I can never let someone else dictate what I'm doing and running around like a crazy person, you know, frantic because someone else was making the decisions for me. Like, I wasn't in control of my finances, my emotional state, nothing. So that was my never again moment. And you guys need to really dig deep, find out why you're doing this business, and throw gasoline on the fire. Like, get to work. You can have a why, but if you don't put the work behind it, you're not going to get anywhere. So one of the things that I tell people is
what we do is kind of like sorting a deck of cards. Like there's 52 cards in a deck of cards. Some of them are, 2 of them are jokers, then you have the face cards, then you have the aces, and then all the number cards. And our job as a professional is to sort. Now this means messaging people, talking to people in person, whatever it is that you do, like find what you like to do, what you're passionate about, and do it. I'm not saying you can only work it on social media. Whatever you like to do, go ahead. But if you are working on social media, this doesn't mean like sending 52 messages that get ignored. This is having 52 conversations where you're back and forth and you're educating people about either the business or the products. So you have to sort through these people. You're going to get the jokers, like the people that send you a link to what a pyramid or Ponzi scheme is, like whatever, move on from them. You're going to have a bunch of number cards that are just people who are getting information and you're dripping on them. But then you're going to find your face cards. So face cards are loyal customers. So boom, like loyal customer here, loyal customer there. And then you're going to find your 4 aces. But this is going through like 52 people and having real conversations with them, not just like, hey girl, can I ask you for a favor? And then they never answer you. This is actually educating them and talking to them. So that's one of the things to keep in mind. Like you have to become a professional sorter and realize instead of trying to persuade people to be what you think they should be, like you can't change a 9 of hearts into an ace of diamonds. Like they're just a number card. Don't try to persuade them just because you really want them to be that ace. Like when they're ready, they're going to be ready. You give them all the information. If they're in, they're in. If they're not, like you follow up with them and you have different follow-up lists. Like obviously if someone was super interested, I'll follow up with them like every couple days, every week until I'm blocked. And then if they're still hesitant, they go on to like a month follow-up list instead of like every week or every few days. And then one of the important things for me personally, for my team, like we have a very local team. And if you don't have a local team, you can still do Zooms and everything, but we get together like on a weekly basis. And my girls who were pushing for their promotions, like I opened up my house. There was people sleeping on my couches, my floors, like whatever. If they didn't have commitments, because like some of them are single, don't have kids, whatever, they would be there. And we were always together every Friday, every month end, like not sleeping, just working together, because when you're around people who are of like mind, you're going to be more productive and you can help keep each other accountable. So if you have a local team, like definitely lock arms with them, run with them. And even if you're not local, like you need to find the people who want this as bad as you and run with them. Now you can't ignore the people who are either joggers or walkers. Like you still need to be there for them and give them the guidance that they need, but don't try to push a walker into a runner. Like you can definitely notice who's doing what and who's like asking you more. Like a runner is going to be like, okay, what's next? What do I do next? Who do I talk to next? What message can I send? What post can I do? And then other people are a little bit more timid. So you have to meet people kind of where they are. And like Kristin was saying, I've always also looked at my chart as my responsibility. If other people bring in distributors or customers, that's awesome. Like obviously that's less work that I don't have to do or that I would have to do. But at the end of the day, if that box isn't getting filled, like I take it upon myself to work harder and to message more people and talk to more people and get it done. Something that works for us, you guys, if you don't know what perks points are, keep track of them. There's now a perks point report, which didn't exist before. So I used to click through TreeViewer to every single customer and see how many perks points they had. And I will message them and reach out to them and say something. If they cancel, like they're done, they're not ordering anymore, I'll be like, hey, I know you were loving the keto coffee. You do have $15 in free product that's going to expire since you turned off your auto shipment or stopped ordering or stopped your monthly orders, however you want to word it. Did you want another bag of keto coffee or did you want to try something else? Or if I've talked to them previously about another product that they've mentioned, like I will mention that product as well, but it's always 2 options. It's like this or that. I'm not saying, do you want to use it or do you want to just let it expire? It's like, no, do you want to get this or do you want to get the other thing? And you're always recommending something that's going to leave you with volume. So if they have $30, you don't want to offer just the keto coffee because then you're not going to have any volume left over. So that's like a volume boosting tip that I have, especially for newbies and people who maybe aren't mass enrollers, like you still want to celebrate every win with them. Celebrate it, like shout it out somewhere, mention them in a group chat that you have or a team page, like celebrate every small win, whether it's a 30 BV order, 50 customers, 2 customers, 1 distributor, whatever it is. Like people can go on for months off of 1 compliment or 1 recognition. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I love that. And we just got to wrap it up here in a minute, but a couple of things that I really took away is that, like, it just kind of sounds like when you decided that you wanted it, like you just cast out all fear. Like you talked to everyone, you messaged everyone, it didn't matter what they said, and like blinders on, made it happen. And I feel like that's what a lot of people need to do. Like you've got to just decide that you want it, get that why, and do the work that it takes. And like Kristin was saying, like, who cares if you're tired? You just keep going. So anything else you want to leave us with before we head to our last 2 guests?
I mean, you have to have a non-negotiable list, something that whatever your 6 things are that you want to accomplish during the day or whatever your number is, and make sure you don't go to sleep before you get that done, whatever your goals are. I always tell my team and anyone that I talk to, like, you're not tired, you're uninspired. Because I, like, when I'm running and I know a promotion is happening, like, I can go on like 2 hours of sleep or like 4 hours in a whole week. And I'm not tired. Like, I'm still excited. Like, I know things are happening. So you're not tired, you're uninspired. And let's see. Oh, month end. I just want to give you guys one more tip with month end. I shared this like in a presidential chat that I think that we have, but we do a month end post where we're offering like something to give away. And if it's already somebody who's a current loyal customer, like I'll message them and say, hey, was there anything else that you wanted to try? I'm giving away free sample packs this month for anybody who adds something else to their order. So you're getting an extra order in for them. If it's a distributor, like a potential distributor or a potential loyal customer, like, hey, I know we talked about such and such. I'm actually giving away a free sample pack, or whatever you have to give away. Could be like a $5 gift card, whatever it is. For anyone who gets started with me as a loyal customer or a distributor, were you still wanting to lose those extra 20 pounds? So we've gotten in tons of volume at the end of the month just doing this month end post. And it's only like the last 2 days of the month where we do something like that.
I love it. And there are so many like extra volume boosting things that we can do, you know, and so just getting in your e-suite, getting in your back office, searching those reports, hopping on YouTube, watching some videos, getting on a training, like all of those things are definitely going to help you promote in your business. So thank you so much for sharing, you guys. If you have more questions for her, go ahead and put them in the chat. We're going to move on. We've got Ashley and Joy. They're going to share their tips and how they went diamond really, really quickly. Now, I'm just going to let Ashley take the floor and kind of share like 2-second story, or if you want to share it within your promoting to diamond, then you can do that too. But give us the details of how you made it happen.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I had to hop from my Mac to my phone. Hey guys, I'm Ashley Krishock. I feel like I'm an old timer in the business because I've been around like almost 5 years now. But really quick backstory, and this will give me like a segue into what I want to tell you guys tonight, is I was like the poster child for this business probably can't work for me, because I moved up to Pennsylvania from South Florida because we couldn't afford life. We were struggling on one income. I was close to $100,000 in debt. I had no social media knowledge, no experience, no friends or family here, no support, like literally every one of those check boxes of like, this can't work for you. That was me. Okay. And I saw somebody posting on social media, probably like many of you newbies have. And I said, okay, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And I finally did it, maxed out our last credit card. But before I get into the rest of it, you guys, there's 2 words I want to give you, and it's persist until. You have got to persist until you get to where you want to go. Don't let the I can'ts determine like your I won'ts or what you can or can't do, because if someone like me who had all those kind of X's on the boxes against them can turn it around and go from, 0 to triple diamond in 8 months, you can do it too. You can go 0 to diamond in 90 days. So I was also that person, those of you guys who maybe are not brand new, but who are still going on your diamond journey, that had set a goal and worked and worked and worked. And I had missed my goal 3 months in a row for diamond. I wanted the $10,000 bonus. I branded my promotion. So a great piece of advice, and if this is repetitious, I'm sorry, because y'all newbies blocked me out of here. I didn't get on soon enough. So I literally just got on 10 minutes ago. But you have to brand your promotion. And you might have heard other leaders speak about this. And that is literally, it doesn't matter if you have one person on your team, 0 people on your team, 15 people on your team, and you're boxed in for diamond, whatever it is. You have got to start claiming that $10,000 bonus every single day in your mind and on your social. Okay. And you do that by saying, you know, I'm so excited for this opportunity. I can't wait to be able to earn this $10,000 bonus and pay off my student loans, or what a blessing it is for me to be home with my kids and be given an opportunity for a $10,000 bonus just in time for Christmas. And you get really good at attraction marketing and building your brand through branding your promotion. And you don't worry about people saying, she didn't get it yet, she didn't get it yet, she didn't do it yet, she didn't get it yet. You just keep going. You persist until, because you know what happens when you don't quit? You go diamond, right? When you don't give up and you don't take your foot off the gas, you will go diamond. So I went diamond. It was, for me, it was actually my 4th month, like beginning of my 4th month. The next month I was a double diamond, and 2 months later I was triple diamond. You guys, I talked about that, branding my promotion to the point where I literally was terrified to talk about it anymore, because in my mind, it's mind over matter. I knew I had missed the bonus 3 months in a row. Mark took the bonus away, y'all, and it was January of 2015, and I was like, now what am I going to do? They're going to be like, this girl done lied the whole time. So February came around, it was conference, and it was the first time he ever did. He doubled the bonuses, and I ended up getting a $20,000 bonus. So in those first 8 months of my business, you guys, I persisted until I got to where I wanted to be. But I went from not knowing if I would get a $10,000 bonus to earning over $110,000 in 8 months. Okay. So my best advice for you guys, to try to keep this short and sweet since we're approaching an hour, is to always be branding your promotion. The way I tell my team to do it is like, put your CEO hat on, and the business just starts seamlessly getting integrated into your life. So if you are like me and you were so broke, you were not a yes mom, you could not buy anything without putting it on a credit card, and you're standing at Target and you want to buy the cute dress, or you've got $30 to buy an It Works shirt, buy the It Works shirt, okay? Brand your promotion. If you have a favorite show you love, you guys, I've got no idea what's happening on TV for like the last 5 years, and I don't care, because there's no BB in TV, and it's not going to help me sitting there watching TV. So I will sacrifice TV. I will sacrifice whatever to fit my business in. So again, this might have been talked about already, so I'm sorry if I'm a broken record, but look at your day. And if you want to go diamond, you guys, you're putting that CEO hat on, you can do it, but you have to make sacrifices. Okay. Sacrifice that TV show. Catch yourself when you're mindlessly scrolling Facebook and watching Pig Island videos or whatever junk we watch on Facebook, right? Like, catch yourself. Catch yourself when you're accidentally gazing off out the window, staring at a butterfly, whatever. Like, catch yourself doing these mindless things, because that's when you're going to be able to start fitting the business in and doing those extra things that it takes. But you persist until you get to where you want to go. And you have to realize that people are going to tell you no. People are going to mock you, block you, ignore you. I was a figure and fitness competitor before I started this business, before I had kids. I would sit down and I had a 6-pack. Now I sit down and I'm folding my gut into my high-waisted yoga pants. It doesn't matter. But all my friends and family, everybody was bodybuilders, and everybody thought I was insane. Okay. So I persisted, because nobody's opinions can pay my bills. So brand your promotion, keep your why in your forefront. One of the things I heard in Austin training that I was at, and it really was like the first time I had this major light bulb, and y'all, Austin was just in like June. We just were in Austin for a corporate event. And one of the ambassadors was up there, and she said, your why has to be more than your kids, because whether you are a diamond or not, I don't know, somebody's not muted. Whether you go diamond or not, your kids are still going to love you. So you just saying your kids are your why, it's not enough. it's not enough. You know, they're going to love you regardless. I'll tell you what, I had one son, he was 2, a week after he turned 2, after I had maxed out every possible credit card we had left to throw him a birthday party. And I looked at my husband and I said, I got to do this. And he's like, well, do it or die, or shut up talking about it, because you've talked about it for 2 months now. So I just dove in. When you treat this business like it is an eminent need, like oxygen, and it is not just a dilly-dally, dibby-dabby, one toe in the water type thing, and you literally need it to work as bad as you need oxygen to breathe, I promise you, magic happens. But I leave you guys with this analogy, and I tell my tribe all the time. It doesn't take you, 30 days to gain the 50 pounds you gained, right? Or the 60 years, or did in 30 or 60 days, to get into $100,000 worth of debt. So don't expect you started a business and everyone's going to throw their credit cards at you. Okay. You have to persist until you get to where you want to go, but be realistic and accountable and be like, you know what? Today I did everything I could for my business. I'm going to lay my head on that pillow and I'm going to succeed. Tomorrow's a new day. And you have to remember that the more people you talk to, the more success you're going to have. It is a numbers game. Okay. And the one big thing I can give you for my success from going basically 0 to triple diamond in like a 4-month span or a 3-month span, really, I was ruby to triple, is you have to remember that posting is not asking, which I'm sure you heard this 100 times by now, but when you are posting, that gives you license and green light to go message somebody. So my favorite line, and I could drop this in the chat when I'm done, I literally message every single liker on my posts, and I'm really great with attraction marketing. I built my entire business all on social media, but I message them and I say very simply, like, hey girl, hey man, hey whoever, I just wanted to reach out to you and I thank you for all the love and support for my family and for my business. I really appreciate you. And then at the end, I'll say, your kids are so cute. How old are they? They grow so fast. Or, oh, I saw you just remodeled your home. It looks awesome. Oh, I saw you just bought a new dress. It was so cute, whatever. But I send that to every single person because I will tell you, people are watching, people are looking, people are curious. You are in an age now where 5 years ago, social was not this busy as it is now, and you have to set yourself apart. I am not cold messaging. I'm not spamming. I'm not doing any of that. I'm literally just thanking them for their love and support. Y'all, they don't know what they liked or commented on. They can't remember. They're just going to click on your profile and go like, oh, there's that sweet girl, or there's that cool guy, or whatever. So just keep in mind, you have to have more conversations, leads to more enrollments. You have got to brand your promotion, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. If you don't take yourself seriously, nobody else will. Okay. And be realistic. Work every day of this month like you did the last 48 hours of July. Okay. No BV and TV, no BV and whatever. If you need to order a pizza more often, if the laundry piles up for a little bit, it's okay. No one's going to die. Everybody's fed. Everything's fine. But be really realistic and get with your upline, your sponsorship, get a roadmap to know exactly what you need, and just blinders on, you guys, because I'm telling you, in my 5 years, I've never seen anything like this. This is the time that you are going diamond. So that's all I have for you guys.
I love it. Okay, so I got a question for you real quick. So, a lot of people say that when they promoted, they just decided. And that always used to drive me crazy, because I'm like, what did you decide? What did you do? Like, you're not telling me anything except for you decided. And it's funny because until you hit that promotion, then you understand it. And so I just want people to know that, like, it is those sacrifices. It is those investments. Like, did you watch TV today? Did you take a nap? Did you sleep in? Did you wake up earlier? Did you do your personal development? Like, the answer is either yes or no. And if the answer is no to some of those things, then you didn't really decide that you wanted it. And I'm the same way, where I was like, hey, I'm going triple diamond. And here it was 2.5 years later, I finally went triple diamond. And why? Because I let the laundry sit. I hired someone to cook the food. I told my husband and my kids, you're not going to see me for the next 30 days. Like, I decided that I was going to do whatever it took. And there was a lot of crying. There was a lot of sweating. There was a lot of being pushed outside my comfort zone, like so much work. But I'll never look back and regret a single second of it because it was worth it. So can you just tell us like maybe 3, so, you know, we talk about this daily 6 list, like someone that wants to go diamond. And of course, like everybody's different, okay? But if you had to give a generic 6 list, if you're going to go diamond in the next 90 days, what needs to happen every single day?
Okay, so for sure, you have to be posting in your stories and on your wall, whether you're an Instagram builder or Facebook. I started building my business all on Instagram. I went triple on Instagram. I didn't really dabble in Facebook too much until the last 2 years. But you have to be posting, and it has to be you. What are you hear people say your 5 pillars, the things that are about you, the things that you love. You need to figure out what those are and start integrating the business and the products into that. So every single day, my non-negotiable is I'm talking about my business and I'm talking about a product every day on my social. I throw my life in there. It looks completely organic. You have no idea. And I'm in my stories constantly. Okay. Second thing, you guys, is going to be expanding your network every single day. Because when I started, I had 200 friends on Facebook and I didn't even know what Instagram was. Like, how embarrassing, right? So every single day I'm being strategic with who I'm adding. I'm not just adding everybody and their mama. I'll give you guys a tip for that. I know it's 11:06, but tip for adding is think about things that you're doing strategically in the here and now. Are you taking your kids to Paw Patrol Live and you're posting that you're at Paw Patrol Live? Then go to the Facebook event for Paw Patrol Live and click on everybody who's going and interested and go start adding people that went to Paw Patrol Live. Because when they look, the first thing they're going to see is you were at Paw Patrol Live. You know, if you just got married, be looking for bridal things. If you have a puggle, like I have a puggle, a pug beagle, crazy looking dog, there's puggle groups. Go join puggle groups. Make friends in there. Don't cold message and spam and add everybody and their mama. Be strategic. Okay, so that's number 2. The third thing I say every single day is you have to engage. I always say at least, like, do pockets. This is going to sound bad, but y'all sit on the toilet and you have your phone in your hand, engage. You're sitting in bed, you can't sleep, engage. And what I mean by that is don't just hit like, comment. Oh my gosh, your kids are so cute. How old are they? Oh my gosh, you know, blah, 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 blah. Did you like that park? Where's that park? Where'd you get the dress from? Where'd you get your shoes from? Oh my gosh, can you share that recipe? Be a real person. I do that 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 10 minutes here. Y'all, I don't have time to sit there for 4 hours a day and engage with people. I do it in the nooks and crannies. Okay. So those are definitely my top 3 non-negotiables. My 4th one is I am constantly, I end my day. I kind of do it differently. I end my night with my personal development versus starting my day with it. Just seems to work better for me. I don't know why. I just like to cleanse my mind and my heart and my whatever before I go to bed. So I do my personal development every single night, but you have to do those 4 things for sure. And then the messaging, you guys, I try to not let a day go by where I'm not at least spending 15 minutes of my time messaging those likers, those people that are liking my post, to start, you know, building a relationship with them, because 99% of the time they are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And oh, by the way, I meant to message you about your business, or I meant to ask you about what's that green stuff you're drinking in the morning now, or hey, I meant to message you about blah, blah, blah. You have to initiate the conversation. So it's really not a 6 list. It's kind of like a 5 list, but those are my daily non-negotiables.
I love it. And I mean, you're going to hear it from every single leader every single day. They're sharing information on social media. They're expanding their network. They're engaging. They're sending messages, and whether it's messages for business or products, or just like Ashley does, like just connecting, like it doesn't matter as long as you're doing it. And personal development is 90% of the business. Like you must be doing it. So when you sit here and say that you want to go diamond, like it's not like you just do it. And these are the things that you do. And if you want it quicker, then you do more of it. And it's just like the numbers game, like everyone's been saying. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, Ashley, so much. I know this is getting late. We'll get the recording up for you guys, but Joy is going to finish us off. She's from Washington. She's been in the business for 5 years next month. She was in nursing school and working 2 jobs as a waitress. Was literally working 24/7, which I know a lot of people can relate to. Either you can, or you know someone that just works all the time and doesn't even live life. So I'm going to let her go ahead and tell us your journey to Diamond, what it took you to get there, and whatever else you want to share with us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on. Whew, you guys are all rock stars for staying on this long. And for those of you guys catching the replay, good job, because this is the kind of stuff that it takes if you guys want to succeed and go far. I never know if I need to look at you or at the camera on the phone. So I'm just going to look at you because it's like weird looking at my phone. So my name's Joy Gillard. I'm a triple diamond from Washington State. And I've been in the business for almost 5 years next month, like she mentioned. When I joined this business, I had dabbled in a couple other businesses, but never ever like this, where you come in and there's like bonuses and people are getting retired. And, you know, so it was more like I was just kind of doing some jewelry shows on the side and like just different things like that. But every single at-home business that I had tried in the past, what I got into debt. Every single one. I got into debt. I had inventory. I actually still have inventory from Mary Kay and Cookie Lee, which, by the way, Cookie Lee went bankrupt and they no longer exist. So now I really can't sell that jewelry that's in my garage. So I just use it as team incentives. But anyway, so when Ashley a minute ago was talking about like how she literally was like the epitome of excuses or whatever in the beginning before her eyes were opened to what this business could do. That was me, you guys. So I don't know if you all know this, but I'm a single mom to 5 kids. Okay. And when I found this business, I had been blitzed a couple times by a couple different people and just threw their cards away. I feel kind of bad. Sucks to be them because I went triple organically, like fast. But I threw that away and it just wasn't meant to be. And what happened was I actually was following my now enroller, who's now an ambassador diamond, but at the time she was a triple, and I was following her on social media. And what happened was, even though she was a complete stranger and like friends had blitzed me and like different people had brought up the opportunity, it just wasn't my time, you guys. And so that's why I tell everyone, like, you need to stay consistent, because people go through major life changes every 3 to 6 months. You never know what life change is going to go through somebody's mind or day or whatever that's going to be the breaking point where they're like, where's that girl that's posting about being at home with her kids? Where's that girl that's working 3 jobs that's posting about making an extra $500 a month with this business? Where's that student, you know, that's in full-time college and working 2 jobs but is making $1,000 a month with this side hustle? Like, I need to find that girl. And so that's kind of where I was at. I didn't even know my enroller. We still to this day have no idea how we ended up on each other's social media. So I'm literally a living testimony right in front of you of what adding to your network will do for you, because there are other Joy Gillards out there that need this opportunity. I was never cold messaged. She was very intentional with interacting on my posts and stuff like that. Of course, I didn't figure this out till later after I promoted. I was like, oh, I see what she was doing. But then, you know, she added me and I added her back because her social media looked clean and she looked like a safe person. And so I added her. But you guys, I was broke. I was broken. I was tired. My husband and I were in the middle of a separation, and we're living apart. I had a baby 4 days after I joined. I had no money. I had repossession out on my car. I had eviction notice at my house. I was working 3 jobs, 2 as a waitress, 1 at a car dealership, and I was in full-time nursing school. So obviously had no time. All right. So that was my other excuse. I had no time at all. And I had a bad taste in my mouth because I had about this sort of thing, because I had done it before and it didn't work. And so basically, I was like, no, I don't want the opportunity or whatever. But I really wanted the reps because I was about to have another baby. And so I wanted to tone and firm, and I did not have the money. And the way that she worded it was, okay, well, for $40 more than the reps, you can get a business. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But if you did just a little, it would be enough to pay for your product at least. And I'm all about getting stuff for free. I still am. Even at Triple Diamond, I'm like, you know, is this on sale? Is this buy one, get one? Let's go. And so I was like, okay, to me, that made sense. But I didn't have the $99. And so what I did was I basically sold stuff laying around my house, like old baby clothes. I even sold a bag of socks. Like I legit had a bag of kids socks that were super clean. I paired them all up and I posted a grocery bag full of kids socks on the buy sell trade sites for $3. Like anything that I could, I was like, hey, I'm in nesting mode. I'm purging. I'm going to post this and get my $99. I'm going to sign. I got my $99. And you guys, I'm going to say this really quickly for those of you that believe in God, like, the devil will find anything to take away this opportunity from you because he knows how powerful you can be. And I just want to say that because literally looking back, I see now that when I got the $99, even that day, even though I was so determined to sell all this stuff and sign up, I was so tempted to not do it because I never had money. So I finally got some money, right? And I was like, oh, I finally got some extra money. I want to take my kids to Olive Garden. And I remember telling the girl, like, I'm not going to sign up. Like, and she's like, okay, well, I'm here for you. And then something was just like tugging on my heart. I'm like, no, I need to do this. And I ended up doing it. And I remember telling her, like, I want you to do this for me. Here's my information and do it now before I change my mind. And so I got started, and that's a tip for you guys too. I do that with my team all the time when they come across girls that really need this business, but they don't have the $99. I mean, it's great to sell things from the business kit before it comes, but honestly, like, selling stuff from their house is so awesome. And then that way it kind of teaches them to start networking, because I still do that to this day. I will, when I post stuff on buy sell trade sites and stuff, I add the people that comment on it. And again, it's kind of like what the other ladies were saying, when you add people, it's just kind of dripping into their social media because they see your posts. I've actually had 3 people go diamond from buy sell trade sites. There's a lot of people in local buy sell trade sites in the marketplace that really need money. That's why they're selling their own items, you know. It's not always just someone that's having a garage sale. So that's a really, really good place to add people from, just a little heads up. But anyways, and so, yeah, I got started. I went Ruby really fast because there was a $500 bonus available, but back then the rules were really sticky with that. I don't even remember what it was, but I ended up not getting it. And I remember getting my Ruby check and being devastated because no one told me that when you build it all really, really fast like that, and it's your first check, it's not, you know, super like a lot. And I think it was like $230. And I remember being like, this sucks. And I didn't even know that going Ruby really fast was a big deal. To me, I knew that Diamond was a big deal, and that's all everyone ever talked about. And so I knew I wanted to be Diamond. But again, you guys, I literally didn't join for $500 a month or anything like everyone says. I literally joined because I wanted wrap rewards and free products. So sometimes it just takes talking to those people and finding out like what they want to join for. And then once they get in, you can help them see a bigger vision. And my upline was really good with that. She was really good at like meeting me where I was at and understanding where I was coming from and being like, okay, well, let's get you in for this because this would really help you. Especially when you're talking to someone that's stressed out like that and really overwhelmed. Find like something small that they can shoot for. And then as they hit little goals, shout them out and make it a really big deal, because she was always shouting me out and stuff all the way until I went double diamond. And that was huge for me. Like just seeing like, wow, okay, I got an LC and apparently it's a really big deal. So I'm going to go do it again. And so it was baby steps. It's not like I joined and I was like, I'm going to go triple diamond in 8 months. I just joined and it was step by step. And so that's another tip that I have for you. But I'm going to say this kind of really fast because I have a few different things that I want to say. So I'm just going to sum up my story. I went triple really fast. I did not go diamond in 90 days. I went diamond in 5 months. But from the time that I went diamond to triple was only 4 months. And so what I did was I went Ruby fast, like I said, but I just had a baby. I went back to work. I did have to go back to work because obviously Ruby wasn't paying the bills. But I learned about fast start bonuses about a month into the company. And that's when I was like, okay, well, even if I can't hit diamond right away, I could make an extra $500 a month just off of fast start bonuses. And that is working towards diamond also. And so even though I went Ruby really fast, I was like, kind of like this really negative, like I'm not a negative person, but in my mind, like I was getting negative because I didn't go diamond as fast as I went Ruby. I sat at Ruby for 5 months. So I went Ruby my first month and then just sat there for 5 months. And I didn't realize, you know what, to get to diamond, you got to do other things than what you're doing at Ruby. You have to do personal development. You have to develop yourself as a leader. And so after being a Ruby for 3 months, I'm going to kind of talk fast because I know y'all have been on for a long time. But I went Ruby really fast, and then for about 3 months of maintaining Ruby, nobody was taking off. Nobody else was going Ruby. And I remember being really confused. I was like, why is no one wanting this like I do? But I have always had the mindset with this business, and I want you guys to write this down if you're taking notes, that there is a way around anything. And if anyone can do it, it's you. All right. And so whenever I would doubt myself, I would just keep saying that, okay, this didn't work, I'm going to try this. Okay, this didn't work, I'm going to try this. And kind of like the other ladies were saying, I picked about 5 top leaders. I only listen to people that are like VIP and above. Not that I don't respect other levels at all, but listen to people. Basically, this is my advice. Listen to people that are where you want to be. That's what I'm getting at. I wanted to be in VIP. When I was a Ruby, I figured out what triple was, and I wanted to be there. And so then I started listening to that, because I'm like, don't take advice from someone that you're not going to trade places with. And so I just started following them, copying exactly what they were doing. anytime I felt like I was slacking on my distributors or I was slacking on loyal customers, guess what? I got my butt on YouTube. I didn't message my upline and be like, well, I suck, so I'm just going to quit. Sometimes I message her and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. You know, do you have a good video on this? Do you have advice on this? And she'd go, yep, I sure do. And then she'd send it to me. And so coming from someone that's now a triple that has a big organization, like, your uplines cannot read your freaking mind. And so if your upline's active with the business still, like, you got to tell them what you need and be specific. And if they don't give you the answer you're looking for, keep going, get on YouTube, be aggressive. Like, don't be mean, but be aggressive, be aggressive. Okay. You got to go find it. Got to go find that answer. I've always had that mindset. Like, if I'm not going to find the answer that I was looking for, even if I'm not sure what I'm looking for, I'm going to go find it. And so basically what happened, my breakthrough moment of when I finally went diamond was, I started doing personal development. I honestly did. I started staying close to the fire. I started getting on there was no Zoom back then. Y'all are spoiled. Like, there wasn't a bunch of leaders doing Zooms and stuff like they do now. Thank God for everyone who does this, because back then it was like Jade Hooper and that was it. Like, I don't even remember. I think Claire Flores had started her channel, but I don't remember. So anyways, I just remember watching Jade Hooper and found her videos and I was like, hey, I'm going to just watch this. And Carrie Young and Tiffany Hurt. It was those three. And I was just like, hey, I'm sitting my butt and nursing my baby and working my 2 shifts during the day, nursing the babies at night and watching videos. And I literally, you guys, I spent 5 months of watching videos. And it's not like I wasn't working. I was messaging and stuff, but it kind of just took a little while for me to go for it. And so when they talk about making that decision, let me just tell you something. Let me be really, really honest with you, okay? I'm very, very blue and red, okay? So I'm purple. If you don't know the colors, you need to take the personality test. But I literally, like, just sat and felt like I was working because I was a Ruby. Like, I felt like I was just like this shit. Like, I'm a Ruby, excuse me. I love Jesus, but I swear sometimes. Hide your kids. But seriously, I went Ruby really fast. And so I felt like, oh, this is just so cool. Like, I'm a Ruby. And then finally I was like, you know what? Like, the way that I'm going to get diamond is doing something that I've never done. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. And now I'm doing the same thing on my 2.0, I call it my 2.0, but it's my ex-husband's account. Cause he's going to go triple diamond this month. And basically what I did was I had 3 girls on my team who wanted this. So if you don't have any team members, go get 3 team members. And I sat down with them. I wrote notes. And I was like, I got on, whatever, FaceTime. I think it was Skype back then. Now we have Zoom, thank God. And I sat down and I was like, listen, like, do you want to go Ruby in the next 2 months? And they were like, yes, I want to go Ruby this month. And I'm like, all right, but do you want to go Ruby in 2 months? I'm like, yes. And so I had to make a plan, make the decision, and then go for it. And so all 3 of those girls, we got a chart out for them. They had no one on their team. They all had earned their shopping sprees though. And I was like, hey, you guys are going to watch video after video after video of signing distributors. And I'm going to help you seal the deal. We're going to send out messages. We came up with a method that if we sent 40 messages a day, which now we have host to post, so you don't really have to just send 40 messages a day. You could just work that. But back then we didn't have host to post. So that would equal 1,200 messages a month, and which would equal 100 enrollments. I didn't want to put that on my girls because that's kind of a lot, but I knew that if I wanted to go triple really fast, I had to do that. So I did that for like 4 or 5 months, and I had my girls do 20 messages a day. And I was helping them seal the deal. So I made a little group chat with my 3 people. The reason why it was 3 people, you guys, was because the diamond chart is 3 rubies. Okay. It has to be in the right spots and different, and, in the right legs and all that. So you got to watch a video on charting. I won't get into that, but basically I just put those 3 girls. You kind of just have to choose the people that you're going to work with and just go for it. And I was there for everybody else, but it's like, hey, I can only build with so many people. I'm only one person, and you can't just sit there trying to like bounce around. Like, you're never going to get anywhere. So just pick 3 people and go for it. And so we just decided these girls are going Ruby in the next 2 months. But what happened was then we were teaching their girls and their girls and their girls. And then I got really busy, right? So then I went from Ruby to Diamond in 1 month when I did this. And I walked away from one of my jobs so I'd have more time for the business. The next month I went double, wasn't even planning on that. I just kept helping people go Ruby. And I did launch parties. And I'm almost done. But basically, launch parties were huge. I've always been a Facebook girl because I do have little kids, so I need to work social media, but I still do launch parties to this day. And so basically, it was picking those 3 people to go Ruby, and then I was helping them go, and we had their steps of success out. We had their chart out, and we had it visually in front of us so that I could see where they're at. I was checking reports every day, making sure they're getting enrollments, talking to them like, all right, girls, let's start the day. And I communicated ahead of time, like, I'm about to be really annoying and in your inbox for 3 months. Are you ready for this? And they were like, yes. And so they knew that I was going to be messaging them a lot. We didn't have like really like group chats. I did have a group chat with those 3, but we didn't have like team chats. I don't even think we had a page back then. But anyways, so what I did really quick, because obviously I was the one trying to promote to a higher level, was I did lifestyle business posts intertwined with like my life, like 5 things that you love about yourself or that you enjoy doing. And so, because I didn't want to just be a robot, but all of my posts were about the opportunity, all of them. You want to get volume fast, go sign 5 distributors and help them be successful. That's how you're going to get a volume fast. And so I knew that if I wanted my GV to get up to what it needed to be a diamond, I needed to have a lot of distributors. So I made, when I made this decision, I made a list and I titled it 1 through 30. And I told myself in 3 months, I'll have 30 new distributors personally enrolled. And I did. I think I got 50 in 3 months. And so you guys, that's like $5,000 in Fast Start bonuses. That's a lot of money in Fast Start bonuses. But what happened was then I unlocked cabs. And when I got a taste of what cabs could do, I was like, my little bit of green that I have is like, I have 10% of green, but it's green on crack. And I was like, okay, like doing the math, like paired with my red. And I was just like, holy crap, like this is a lot of money. And so that's when my fire really got excited, because I started looking at my debt and looking at my job and looking at my kids' faces and realizing, oh my God, if I just keep doing this for 6 months or 1 year, I could be triple and like walk away. And so I gave myself 1 year, but I went from ruby to triple super fast, but I gave myself a year to do it. Because I told myself like, I have to take quitting off the table. I just have to. Because when I was a ruby, I kept going back and forth. Should I quit? Should I not quit? I'm discouraged. I was just like in my head. Anyways, so really fast, I'm just going to hit some bullet points and then I'm going to end this. But I ended up going triple. I walked away from both of my jobs, or all 3 of my jobs. I ended up dropping out of nursing school. I'm still only 12 credits away, but I'm just kind of like, I'm making more with this, so it's fine. And I paid off all of my debt. Actually, I'm down to $900. And it's all from like Comcast equipment that I forgot to return. So I just need to return it. But anyways, I paid off my car. Nothing got evicted. Nothing got taken away from me. So that was good. And I got off of food stamps and WIC. I was able to go back to my son after 4 months of having him in daycare. So 4 months old, I brought him home from daycare. So everyone talks about retiring their spouse. I talk about retiring my kids from daycare. It's awesome. And I was able to homeschool my kids all up until this last year, till they were a little bit older, and was able to put them in and everything. So it's been a ride. Like, it's been awesome. We have team all over the globe. Some of my best friends have finally joined me. I had to build with complete strangers, which now are my best friends, but now all of my friends from the past are finally joining. You know, people are going to watch and they're going to see what you're going to do, and you have to prove them wrong. I did not have any warm market join me. I didn't have a mom and a dad and a best friend and a coworker, none of that. I literally have had to add people on Facebook, blitz, and do parties to get to where I want to be. But again, you can find your way around anything. So really, really fast, I just want to hit a couple bullet points and then we can end it. But I post lifestyle business posts. My products are in my stories with polls, okay? I go live about 3 to 4 times a week about the products, me using them personally. So run your auto shipment. New distributors, I have them focused on Ruby right out of the gate. I'm not just having them focus on the shopping spree. I'm like, hey, you want to go Ruby? We need to get your shopping spree in the first 72 hours. So I help them with their first posts. And I give them videos all about loyal customers only, not charting, not Ruby, not all that. I get them that. And then once they get their 4 LCs, then I do a phone call with them and we plan out their Ruby. I want them to have 2 distributors by week 2. And I can send all this to is it Tamika? I'm so sorry. I can send it to you so that you can send it to people. But I want them to have 2 distributors by week 2, a launch party by week 2. Also, I want them to be structured for Ruby by their 3rd week and promoted to executive by their 4th week. And so when we break it down into really easy goals like that, they do it. Like, it's crazy. And we just get laser focused on these small goals. And basically what we're doing essentially is we're building 2 Rubies in their first 30 days, because then as soon as they get a distributor, we're doing the same thing with them too. So it's pretty crazy. So people are going Ruby with a Ruby in like 30 days. I have them follow the same process for their girls in their first 90 days. I've had 11 people actually take this and run with this organically. So not just people that I'm like building with, you know, like placing under them, but actually people that just decide to go for it and it works really well. I personally don't have my team necessarily do this because not everybody has the patience for belly to belly, but I love it. So I do 3 parties a week on top of launching all my personally enrolled distributors. I try to do 1 event per month. I do mass adding. So I add about 700 people on Facebook per week. So you can break that up however you want. I just do little tally marks on a notebook. I'm so old school, you guys. Like, I don't have anything fancy, no Google spreadsheet, nothing. Like, I have a notebook from Walmart that's like 75 cents to this day. Every day I title it that day, you know, it's like Thursday the 1st, added 100 people, you know, messaged 50. Like, I just want to make sure that when my head goes on my pillow, like she was saying earlier, that I gave that day my all. And if I can see that on a piece of paper, like, you have to be honest with yourself. This is a numbers game. If you're not being honest with yourself, you're not going to succeed. I mean, if my thumb does this 3 times on my phone, I know that I'm scrolling, you know? And it's like what she said earlier, you have to catch yourself. So honestly, like, I like being with my kids. I like being retired. I almost said something bad. Retired. I like being with my dogs. And so what I try to do is I try to bust out my numbers early in the morning before my kids wake up so I can enjoy my freaking day, because I worked really hard to get to where I'm at. And then throughout the day, I can help my team and respond to those messages as they trickle in. And so 4 days a week, I put out mass numbers. I don't do it every day because I would probably lose my mind. And then the other 3 days I do follow up. And again, I try to message 40 people a day. I don't really do host posts. I'm terrible. I do a huge host post contest for my team every month, but I'm so set in my ways of what has worked for me that I just message people. And I can send my messages to her as well for you guys. I do recognition for my team for like every small thing. And it's not necessarily like a massive recognition. I just message them like, holy crap, I'm so proud of you for jumping on that Zoom. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you for getting that distributor. And I try to recognize people when they're getting structured for things or they're getting really close in the chats or in my stories, because recognition is huge. I promise I'm almost done. I message for loyal customers, distributors, and referrals. And again, I'm going to put all my messages into a document for her and she can share with you guys. Or I can put it on the Lifers group. If you're a triple on here, you can just send it to your team or something. I myself am always laser focused on distributors. So all the videos that I'm watching, all the verbiage that I'm looking at, everything that I'm doing is for distributors because that's where the money is at. And also because I cannot do this alone. Like, you have to have a team. And as sadly as this sounds, the average lifespan, but like, we need to talk about this, okay? The average lifespan of a distributor is 3 to 6 months because we're in a generation that people just don't believe in themselves. They have no work ethic and everybody's just like meh, all the time. It's just weird. And so you have to look at this like, okay, you're a business owner. This is a statistic. Okay. If this is a statistic, if you're not consistently bringing in new people into your organization, like, you're never going to get higher up, period. And so you have to bringing in your 3 distributors a month for your steps to success. I copy the right cats. I picture myself where I want to be. I visualize and I go for it. I literally don't care what people's excuses are. Like, I have people that are like not commission qualified that are like structured for triple diamond right now, and I'm just laughing like, okay, well, sucks to be you. Like, I'm going prez with or without you, you know? Like, you just have to have that mindset. And so be there for your team, but like, don't let other people giving up on their goals bring you down. Find your color and learn how to work in it. Put your affirmations everywhere. I am presidential diamond everywhere. My team does the same thing. I am diamond, I am ruby, everywhere. I used to watch videos, make a list of the notes, and then I would set a goal and message until that goal was hit. For example, if I wanted to sign 40 loyal customers, I would make just a piece of paper 1 through 40, and I didn't have a set number that I was messaging. I was just going through my whole friends list, messaging people. You know, now we have host to post too and different things like that, and doing parties, follow-ups, leads, messaging people from the buy sell trade sites, like anything I could do. Messaging for referrals is basically now what our host to post is. So just do host to post. Just forget what I said about messaging for referrals because it's the same thing. But back in the day, I used to message and just say, like, do you know anyone that could use an extra income or to lose weight, etc. always focus on fast starts because that's where the money's at, and that's what's going to give you money in your pocket. It's going to make your husband stop getting mad at you for being on your phone. It's going to make you feel good as a business owner. You're going to feel like you're making money, which is going to encourage you, and then you're going to catch fire. Like, I just set a goal for the very first time of $300 my first month in fast starts, and then I just went for it from there. Find your why, do personal development. Your mindset is everything. All I knew was I was watching videos from the top and I was ignorance on fire. I was just doing everything they said to do. I blitzed and I didn't really do belly to belly. I just launched my new people and I tried to do a few Facebook parties or launch parties a week. Like, that's all I was doing, and I was blitzing. Anyways, the last thing I want to say is you need to look at this like no distractions. Everything's intentional. So like what I think it's Mary Lisa was saying earlier, it's like, if I'm having a play date, it's because that person, like, I think would be awesome on my team, or that person needs this. If I was going to an event, I wasn't leaving that event, like a movie or a concert or whatever, without leaving blitz cards or adding someone there onto my Facebook. Even the grocery store, even Starbucks, I always just try to get someone added onto my Facebook. I don't even talk about the business. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love talking to you. Can I add you on Facebook? Is that weird? And they're like, no, totally. And I just hand them my phone. I'm like, here, you type in your name. And then what happens is when they walk away, I just screenshot their profile so that I can make sure that I'm commenting on their stuff later. So that's how I blitz. It works amazing for me. I've literally had 4 people go diamond from blitzing. Anyway, last thing I want to say is every time something is not working, you need to try something else and have the mindset that you're just going to do this. Everyone's going to talk about their way to do things. Every leader has their own way of doing things. But what you kind of need to do is just like try a little bit of everything and kind of put up your own formula, like, and catch on to things. Like when you feel excited or when you feel like you're pumped up from doing something. Like, I get pumped up doing Zooms. I get pumped up having one-on-ones. I get pumped up launching my personal distributor. So when you feel that, that's what you need to do, is stay in that lane, because that's going to be your thing. And the last thing I just want to say is when you guys get discouraged, you need to remind yourselves that, like, there's something so big and so great that's going to happen with your business. And the devil's going to come the hardest on you guys that have a really big calling, or something huge is going to happen. He's going to fight the hardest to try to discourage you, get in your head, whatever. And you need to keep your, when they talk about finding your why, it's really just your vision. You have to keep your eye on your vision. I've been in for 5 years. I went triple so fast. Do you have any idea how many people have been like, why aren't you presidential yet? Why aren't you this yet? And I'm just like, it's my journey. I've been through a lot with It Works. But you know what? Whenever there's like a mass exodus of people because a bonus got offered at another business, or they're just like, oh, so-and-so quit. Okay, I'm discouraged. Okay, bye. Like, I'm just sitting here like, no, that will not be me, because I know that what I'm going through, someday somebody's going to need to hear, whether it's you guys on this Zoom tonight, or when I'm an Ambassador Diamond on stage in top 50, because I know that it's going to happen because God told me. I know that my story is going to be able to help them. During this whole time, you guys, I have gone through domestic violence multiple times. And it has been the hardest thing to mentally keep going with It Works. But you know what? I am still here. I have lost rank before and I've gotten it back, and I'm still here. And now I'm closer to Prez than I've ever been. And I'm so glad that I didn't quit. And you're not going to remember those dark moments when you promote, because it's going to be worth it. And all you can do is just give God the glory and just feel like, oh my gosh, like, thank you that you're taking me through this, because I know that what you're putting me through is creating me to be a strong leader, the leader that I need to be for my future team that's taking me to diamond. So that's all I have for you. Sorry that took so long. And
you're good. I love it. Okay, you guys, I know this was super long, but so many good tips. I'm going to get the recording up tonight and I'll post it in Lifers page, so that way you'll get it from a triple diamond or above leader, or you could just check out my YouTube channel, just Tamika Davis. But you guys, thanks for being on with us tonight. Thank you all of you guys that shared your tips and tricks and inspiration with us. I know that at least everyone was able to connect with one or more people. So I am grateful for you guys, and I'm ready to just launch August and just, find these new people who need this business in their lives and teach them what it takes to go diamond and above. And I mean, it starts with us leading by example and putting in the work. So that's all we got for you tonight. Thanks, you guys.